Well, good morning. Just kind of want to start out just introducing myself a little bit. Name's Tim Skipper. Feel free to call me Skip. That's not offensive to me. So call me Skip. I actually kind of like that. So that's kind of how everybody talks to me. But just a little bit about me. I've been the special assistant here to Coach Foster. I got here like the middle of July. So I've been here since the middle of July. I went to training camp in Costa Mesa and then came back to campus and went to the first 3 games like we did. And then I've been here, been helping out, and kind of my job, 'cause everybody asks me kind of what do you do from my parents on down. Just keeping the head coach organized, planning practices, those sorts of things. Staying out of the way was a big part of it, and just trying to help. So that's kind of what I was doing. That was the special assistant type role, so just in case you were wondering. Next thing I'd like to move into is defensively, collaboratively as a staff on defense. We are going to get these kids in the right positions to where they could be successful, meaning we're going to do things that they can do well. So that's kind of where we are as far as defensive staff-wise goes. Leads me into Coach Malloy, and the university has agreed to mutually part ways. I want to personally thank him for all he's done, especially with me having conversations and things like that, and everything he's done for this university. Just want to personally make sure I do that and get that handled. Great man right there. And then lastly, kind of pertaining to you guys, get with the our comm staff and stuff and our team and logistics on everything, and I'm sure you probably already talked to them a little bit, but we'll open up some practice periods out here for you guys so you can do your jobs and things like that. Just want to be respectful to you guys, and just you get with them, they'll tell you when you can and can't. So that's kind of what I wanted to just say. All right, I'll open it up for any questions. If y'all don't have any questions, I'll get out of here.
No, I'll start here. Can you tell us, just set the scene of how you found out you were going to be taking over, who told you, when it was, and your reaction?
Yeah, so now it was Sunday, right? We played Friday that week. It was a weird week. It was Sunday, just Sunday morning. Every Sunday, I actually watch college football clock situations. So I was in the middle of doing that, and then had a conversation with Martin. Had that conversation, and then the staff found out, then the team found out, and then we went through the rest of the day. So that's kind of a blur because my life kind of changed a little bit once that happened, but that's kind of how the order of the day, how it kind of went.
And you were obviously close to Coach Foster, so how were you feeling in that moment and, taking over for a close friend in difficult circumstances?
Definitely. Anytime there's an interim head coach, it's never a good thing, right? Something's not right. So Coach Foster's like a brother to me. Always will be. He's a part of my family. He's been to my parents' house and had my mom's cooking. That's how close we are. So definitely wasn't just great feelings and things like that, but we both know we got to move on. We're football players and football coaches, so we know how this business goes. Every second you can't waste. So definitely embrace each other, and then we move forward.
Can you say anything more about the Coach Malloy situation? I mean, he was a very well-respected figure here, universally liked. Just seems a little unusual that he would leave at this moment.
You hit it on the head. Very well liked and things like that, but I really don't know the whole story behind it. I wish I could tell you more, but I honestly don't know.
So will you kind of be the acting defensive coordinator, or you mentioned collaborative, but
so in my mind right now we are in training camp, and then next week we'll be getting ready for the first game. That's how I'm seeing things right now. So we are working through stuff right now in training camp in my mind, and then as we get into next week we'll figure out exactly how we're going to do this thing.
Was he the only coach who's departed? Coach Malloy?
He's the only staff member to have any announcement to talk about or anything like that right now.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Player-wise, can you tell us if any players signaled their intentions to either redshirt, hit the transfer portal, and what have those conversations been like?
Yeah, unfortunately, that's the state of college football now, right? You get once the head coaching change happens, you have that 30-day window and things like that. What I'll say to that is I've had very positive conversations with our guys. There's nothing to announce or report that way. We're going to practice today. The squad's here. The healthy bodies will be out there working, and that's a day-to-day fluid situation. This university, this campus, this coaching staff has a lot to offer to these guys. You remind them of that, and they see it. They see how our energy is every day, and we're just going to take it one day at a time and keep on working. The work never stops.
Is the whole roster, do you expect the roster to be here today? Like, you know, the people who were there Friday, you expect them to be here?
We've already checked in. We've had a lot going on this morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the final piece. Getting to practice, and then it's like take a deep breath. But we've had breakfast. We've been in there. Guys have doing their hydration testing. There's a lot of stuff going on before we actually hit the field. So I already know that who's here and who's not. Obviously, you have guys that it's a season. We played 3 games that aren't healthy and stuff. They got to do rehab and things like that. But everybody's checked in.
Fresno State, you obviously were in similar situations, the interim, and a lot of experience with this. What did you take from that experience that's going to help you here?
I think the big thing, this being my second time really doing this, is just having answers to questions. You know, the first time somebody asks you a question, you're like, oh yeah, I guess I have to answer this now. So give me a day or two and then I'd answer it. Now I have answers already on top of my head. I've experienced it, you know what I mean? So it's a lot easier for me to communicate to the guys and kind of help them through the transition and things like that. That would be the number one thing. The main thing that helps me is like, I already have practice plans and formulas and things we need to do day to day. I don't have to think that on the go like I did last year. So that'll set me in a much better place, and I already feel like I'm ahead of where I was last time.
What's been your message to the players to get them together and move forward in a positive direction to win games?
Yep, kind of what I was telling you. We're going to reset. We are completely reset. We are in training camp right now. We're not going to dwell on the past, and we're not going to dream about the future. We're going to worry about right now. So we're in training camp right now, and then once we finish this week off, we get done with training camp, we're going to get into week 1 of the season. That's how our mindset is. We've got to move on from all the sadness and things that are going on. We have to get ready to play a game. Nobody is feeling sorry for us. We understand that. So it is time to get through training camp, and then we'll get ready for week 1.
And how do you make sure, you know, guys stay motivated, knowing there's still 9 games left on the schedule, and they're not dwelling on it?
You hit it on the head. There's still 9 games left. You know, there's a lot to be motivated about, you know. And these guys, I mean, they have some inner pride. I mean, they care what's happening. So the motivation is there. That's not going to be an issue at all. And everybody knows once you're a football player, from when you're a little kid, you're building your resume off of what you do. People judge you off of what you do out there on that field. So we're just going to go out there, play fast and hard, and let the chips fall as they may.
Would you like to be a head coach somewhere permanent, you know, have a permanent job eventually? Is that a goal for you?
I'm one of those people, if I'm doing something, I want to get to the top. So if that's the top of the mountain, this profession, I want to do that. So if whatever job it is, I'm going full speed ahead, you know. That's just my nature. I actually experienced this last year full season. I enjoyed it. Wish you went some more games and things like that. But when you become a head coach, it's a lot less about the ball and more of it's off the field stuff. So you either like it or you don't, and I rather enjoyed it. So we're going to keep on building from that.
How much introducing yourself to the players did you have to do these last few days? You said your role as assistant to Deshaun is kind of a little more hands-off from the day-to-day necessarily. So how much introducing yourself to players, getting to know them, have you had to do the last few days?
Definitely. I kind of took my own initiative to introduce myself as a coach. You know, I was off the field guy kind of thing. You know, I was helping out in the background and things like that. So it was more of me introducing who I am as a coach, telling them my history and things like that, and then how we're going to move forward. So I just acted like I didn't know anybody and full speed ahead on who I am.
What needs to change to win games with this team?
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to say it's about what needs to change. I'm just going to say what we need to do. And what we need to do, we need to change our style of play as far as how hard and how fast and how physical we play, okay? And that has a lot to do with starting with me and the rest of the staff. We have to make sure we simplify things so guys can play full speed ahead and there's less thinking. That's kind of my whole motto as far as coaching goes. Just less thinking and play fast. There's critical situations, you know, things that we have to take care of. We have to win in the red area. We have to win the kicking game. We have to win the turnover battle. We have to limit the penalties. All those things that go into the game. But really, honestly, all I really care about is our style of play. We have to love the way we're playing, and that's the whole focus right now.
What are the elements of Coach Foster's system that you want to keep, and what parts do you think needs retooling?
You know, I was here for a month and a half of Coach Foster's system, and he has his vision, right? But to me, you individually, you know, you have to have your own system, and you have to have that belief system, and it's kind of what I learned from last time I did this, you know. I replaced a legendary coach, and he had his way of doing things that I couldn't emulate. I mean, I'm me, you know, I do things my kind of way. So that's kind of how it is right now. I do things my way, and that's the best way for me to do it. I can't be somebody else. I just can't. It's not possible for me. So I'm just going to be me, and let's roll.
How would you describe your coaching style?
That's a great question. Yeah, it is a great question. Because, you know, you get, hey, is he a player's coach? And I really don't know what that means. But you get all those type of things. I'm going to tell you this. I'm tough, but I'm fair. And I coach with a lot of energy and pride. I care about what's happening. I'm all about the details. All about the details. You take care of the little things, the big things will come. All right? If you don't take care of the little things, the big things become problems. So we're going to be detail-oriented. We're going to play fast. We're going to play hard. There's going to be a lot of love, but there's going to be a lot of tough love too. So that's my mentality. Football is about situations, and you have to handle every situation. The good ones you cheer, you know. The bad ones you discipline. That's basically what it is.
What's been the most meaningful advice you've received since you've stepped into this role?
Be you. Be you. I mean, both times this has happened, everybody has told me to be you. So that's what I'm going to be. I mean, that is like, everybody tells me that. So, and that's kind of where my mindset is anyways, but it's just reaffirming that, hey, you need to be you. So I'm going to be me.
What's your message to the assistants and the rest of the coaching staff right now?
Yeah, it's easy. We're professional about it, you know. We need to coach these guys as hard. They're going to feed off of us. If we go out there and be lazy and act sad and all that type of stuff, that's exactly what's going to happen. So we're going to have all our energy and everything ready to roll, and we are ready to go coach. We've had meetings and things like that, and once we hit this grass, it's on and popping. So we're ready to go.
How would you sort of define or measure success for this season? Like, at the end of the season, looking back, what would make you proud of what you've done at UCLA?
Definitely, and it's funny, you might judge me on this, but it's not a number, it's not amount of wins or any of that. It's a style of play. It's a style of play. To me, if your style of play is right, the scoreboard takes care of itself. We need to get out there and give a product that everybody's proud of. That's exactly all I'm worried about.
And what do you say to fans? Because, you know, the Rose Bowl been kind of empty recently. What do you say to fans to keep coming out and supporting the players?
Keep the faith. Keep the faith. We are working. We are working. We will give you a product to be proud of. That's my number one job, and I'm working at it every day. The players are working at it every day. The practice period's already started. I heard the horn, and we're out here working, ready to go. Keep the faith. We'll give you something to cheer about. That's our job.
When it comes to other guys on the coaching staff, is there any of them that you knew well previously were coming to Westwood?
It's a small fraternity of coaches, right? Although there's a lot of school, a lot of coaches, but we all go to the same conventions. We all are doing recruiting. We all kind of recruiting the same guys. So we all kind of know each other. Some you know a little better, but we all kind of have somewhere, like, I remember we was at this school together, or, man, remember we were at the convention and da-da-da. You always have some kind of relation thing like that going. So I know a lot of the guys on the staff already.
With the recruiting class, obviously some guys have already decommitted. No, you can't talk about specifics, but what is the approach now with the staff that many of them may be looking for new jobs after this year with maintaining that recruiting class for UCLA?
No doubt. And what's crazy, everybody talks recruiting right now and they think about the guys that aren't here, but we have to recruit the guys that are here. That's where it all starts. So for me, my recruiting side of things is starting with those guys all out there on that practice field right now. And then the guys that aren't here right now, the coaches, and we have a full recruiting staff. And this is where they go make their money. So they're in communication with those guys, and they know this is a great place to be. You know, it's a tradition-rich university. So we're just going to keep on sending the message. But ultimately, when everybody turns on the TV and our style of play looks the way that everybody wants it to look, they'll want to be here. So that's the way it goes.
Thank you.
All right, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.